Righto, for Yabby Dam Farms, over here with Mr. Pat Driscoll on a beautiful Ballarat day. If it can't rain, Pat, it might as well be a day like today.
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it? So shame about the rain, but that's life. So
it is indeed pretty important. Couple of things we want to get the message out there for from the farm. One, the first to start right off with is the HDT Trotters Classic, which the payments are due tomorrow. The last, the one and only payments, they're due tomorrow, and we want to encourage people to be able to make sure they've got those payments in.
Correct. They're there for the two races, one for the fillies and one for the colts, for the HDT stallions. For 75k each. They close tomorrow, so if you haven't responded, please do. Yep. The more we can have in it, obviously. If you're not in it, you can't win it.
No, and it will go ahead. So far, Louise just said then that I think she said 81 people have paid up for it so far, which is, you must be wrapped in that people have accepted, prepared to go behind this race. People need to be aware, richest single-sex trotting races in Australia, equal richest with the Nutrient Classic.
Yes.
$75,000. And it's not of boys and girls, it is boys and 75 for the girls. Yep. So it's a massive opportunity. All you have to be is a yearling currently that was bred by Haras Trotteurs, and you're eligible as long as you pay up.
Yeah, by their size.
Yeah, so that's right.
That's it.
And it's that simple. Get in touch with Georgia or Louise. I'll have the number down the bottom. If you're one of the people that haven't paid up, the New Zealanders, any New Zealanders watching this as well, you're eligible. Of course, you'll have to have your horse across there. The finer details about the racing dates and things along those lines, I think you're going into a meeting today, so we'll be across a lot more of those, but it'll be later in the year, I believe.
Correct, when we'll be able to announce a lot more. Yes.
Yep. And go behind it. So that part is a massive tick. I said that we wanted to touch on sales and everything that you've been doing this year. It hasn't finished. A little bit of a scoop, I suppose, if you like, coming out today, selling a few more horses this year.
Yeah, the cycle continues, Paul. So we're sending, I think it's 7 nicely bred weanlings across to the NZB sale. So they'll be in the supplement section, which will be coming out shortly. But we can have a bit of a brief look at them. So it's just continues on, and I think in the current climate, it's good to put a few in New Zealand and around the different states, and makes those genetics available. And as I said, we're sending them across to New Zealand, and they'll be over there for the sale. And
we will touch on that sales part at the end. They will be on the supplementary list. I think there's 82 standardbreds at the minute. From an NZB point of view, that sale starts at 2:30. It will be the first time that they have run it in conjunction with the thoroughbreds. They need a little bit of time to change their computer systems over because the standardbreds and the thoroughbreds have a different system. So 2:30, Thursday, June 26th. Now, people need to be aware of it. It's a great weekend to be there. There'll be races at Alexandra Park on the Friday night, I presume. If not, they'll be at Cambridge, but either way, there'll be races over there as well. Get there on the Wednesday. I can say it is the greatest sale to go to. Not necessarily high-price horses or quality. The people there, it is just the awesome atmosphere, and I know a lot of people that are going across to it, and it's a very, very exciting sale to be a part of.
Yeah, well, we're just wrapped that NZB accepted. We're a little bit late doing it all, so they've accepted the entry, so I'm wrapped.
Yep. We will touch on the horses that you do have in here. You've got 5 colts and 2 fillies, so of course colts are probably a little bit easier for you to move on. Fillies must be a little bit harder for what you're trying to build, I suppose, in your business model. They
are, like the 2 fillies. I'm just reading off here because Eternity. It's a ready cash mare, half to use to me, by Tactical Landing. Beautiful filly. So
Tactical Landing for a start. That's going to get a few people sitting up, isn't it?
Yeah, and the French mare Eternity.
Yep.
As I said, a ready cash mare, half to use to me, and the other one is an Equidee out of Riverina Queen, and that's Riverina Queen is out of a half. The mum to that is half to Call Me the Breeze, and the Call Me the Breeze has another Muscle Hill brother in Europe, which I can't pronounce the name, but he's won 8 from 8, and he's considered the next best thing in Europe.
I'll make a point of Googling it, put it up over the top so people can actually see that.
Yeah, and there's prizes if you can pronounce the name.
I'm not even going to try. If you can't, I've got no chance. Just before we go on to these others, Call Me the Breeze, where's he at?
Probably have to ask Andy. He was supposed to trial a few weeks ago, so his front feet are fine. There's just a few little niggles, so hopefully he gets to the trial soon and is ready for the Interdom.
Yep, that's his main aim in the middle winter.
Yeah, but he's probably on a very tight schedule at the moment, so hopefully it all works out. But I'm due to ring Andy to see how he's going.
You'll give him time anyway, I would imagine, if things aren't going the right way. Rightio, 5 colts. We've got 2 Equerry Ds. I can't believe one of them's going there. Magic opportunity for the Kiwis, but a bit of magic is the first one we'll talk about.
Yeah, a lovely big Sundon mare out of the famed Maori family. Yep. She was a wonderful mare out of a great family. So, a really nice colt and, a beautifully bred colt.
The other of the Equerry Ds is out of Unballalur, Derby winner herself. Well, she was a superstar mare. Yeah. Another magic opportunity for the Kiwis to get the first hands on this sort of bloodlines.
Correct, and she won Oaks and Derbies and done an outstanding job. So, I think they'll both sell well.
EL Titan, well represented, and he's a stallion that you've supported. I can put my hand up. We've got one in the paddock, same age as these guys. They're beautiful. They've got a bit of character, great temperament, and we know what the Muscle Hill line stallions do over here in Australasia.
Yeah, and there's a couple of little gems here, I think. Yeah. Cha 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 is actually the last filly out of La Cucaracha. She's unraced and by Quaker Jet, so you're getting a potential... it's a really nice colt.
Wow. And then Beautiful River's a mare that you've supported. And I can think of who's out of that family.
Lotus Louise, the New South Wales one. And she's a beautiful French mare. Yep. Also by Quaker Jet. So there's a couple of gems there in relation to those two.
So it's a half brother to Lotus Louise. Anyone wondering, Lotus Louise is actually a boy. It was a bit of a mix up with the naming, but he is actually a boy. And then Vacation Hill, FaceTime Bourbon, we know how well they was received last year. Yeah. The excitement around that, so another huge opportunity for the Kiwis.
Yeah, the first foal from Vacation Hill, and she was a really nice Muscle Hill mare, so it's bred on that famed cross. So we think that'll get a little bit of attention, and we're just happy to support the sale and glad that NZB is supporting us. Just on the FaceTime Bourbon, any feedback on the yearling that was purchased last year at the minute, or this year? Got sent a video that he was broken in and, was trotting around beautifully. So obviously they have to keep going, but, Barry was more than happy with him. So, so onwards and upwards for the FaceTimes. I'll be heading back over there in the middle of winter. I might be able to call out the Scotties and get a bit of an update, hopefully, on that. But I wanted to discuss with you, and it's off the back of this and what you are building here. You are a seller. This year you have proven that you are a seller. You've diversified a lot. You've sent horses to New Zealand, the North and South Island, sold in Queensland, sold in Sydney, sold in Melbourne. But effectively, the most part of what I want to put across is that you are selling. These horses are selling. You're not giving them away if they don't reach the reserve that you're after, but you are prepared to do a little bit of wiggle room too if they get close. But you must be wrapped with how everything has gone so far this season. Yeah, they've been really well received. So very happy that the support the buyers have been giving the yearlings. It's testament to what's happening in New Zealand at the moment, and to a lesser extent Queensland and New South Wales. So I think where we're seeing strong state racing, or country racing as in New Zealand, I think, and it's not just Yabby Dam Farms, but if you present a nice yearling, that's well bred, they'll make good money. From your point of view, though, that's, as I say, one thing we want to make sure people are aware of. The reason there's 5 weanlings here is they are for legitimate sale. Those 5 weanlings will actually be on the North Island. Correct. They'll actually be there for people to see. So you are putting your money where your mouth is, if you like, and prepared to present these horses and sell them. They're not going to be here and virtually there. They will be on the market legitimately through that sale. Correct. Yeah, I think that's the only way to go because people want to see the product. It's one thing for me to say, this is a nice weanling and blah blah blah. But when they have someone trusted there or they go and see it themselves, it's obviously much better. Yep, you're still working out the logistics of that part and when they'll be there, but they will be there, so people will be aware that at least make sure you're there June 26th. That's for sure. You'll be able to see them there. Yes. But they should be there a little bit before that. Selling horses
is what you want, improving the trotting gait. I was recently, last weekend I was in Sydney. We saw the Matchmaker Mile 2 Trotters just in full flight, but there were some brilliant runs behind these trotting mares.
Yeah.
You must have been wrapped in that. We also had the Haras Trotters Oaks on, the Trotters Oaks on as well. The next wave of horses coming through. You must be wrapped with how places like New South Wales and that are progressing with their support of the better gate.
Yeah, and it's just, and it's what the Trotters are doing. If I look at the MacArthur Mile, I think it's now called,
yep.
With Susan is the name and Kiang Zahara, to go 151.7 on just a basic
yep.
May evening in Menangle,
yep.
Put that back on March and, they probably break 150 and, Kiang Zahara is a 4-year-old mare, second up, and Susan is her name's only had 16 starts.
Yeah.
So it's just unbelievable. And then, earlier in the night was the Trotters Oaks, and we were lucky enough to breed the second and the third horse, and Gaethje's Gem was too good as the winner, but it went 157 for the race. And I'm thinking, I remember when Habibti was the rage a few years ago. Well, she went 158. So yep. These guys, she came across and dominated from New Zealand. These guys are running a full second faster, and there's a bunch of them. Yeah. So it's just amazing how they've improved, and it's fantastic to watch.
And it is, as I keep saying, the one way the gate will improve, I suppose harness racing, will improve in our industry is once more and more people embrace this gate, because the pacing has stagnated. There's no problems there. But the trotters are just rising and rising all the time.
Yeah, and, a lot of studs are getting some nice bloodlines in. And I think also people are, learning to train them, and they're getting easier gated. So I think there's a lot of strength in the trotters going forward, and what they can achieve. New
Zealand, you sold 6 horses on the South Island. You must be wrapped in the way the direction New Zealand are heading. You had 3 up in the North Island last year as well. All well received. There is a little bit, the North Island has its challenges, if you like. It's hard, but they're definitely growing the product. They had the Young Guns on last weekend. Good races, $50,000 and above, which then gives you the confidence to sell not only weanlings but yearlings. And I know we've spoken before this that you will be sending some more across there
yes.
this year to diversify. And it's not picking what will suit New Zealand necessarily better. It's actually to spread out your draft of exciting horses.
Correct. Yeah, and I think it just allows everyone, like the idea, when I got into trotting a few years ago now, was to get to this stage so that the mares that we bought from overseas would have their offspring, yep. and then they'd be available to improve the gate. So we're at that stage, and it's quite exciting.
It is. The other part of this farm, the branch of this farm, is the thoroughbreds. And again, you've had a pretty good year selling thoroughbreds this year as well. That must be exciting for you, the new frontier, if you like.
Yeah, it is. If you get it right in the thoroughbreds, it's very rewarding. If you get it wrong, it can be, quite disappointing. It does have a different, breadth, if you like, of what they can achieve.
Yep.
The highs are very high and the lows can be very low. So you have to spend a lot of time getting it right. Whereas compared to the harness and the trotters, it's a lot easier to get it right. But that said, it's quite rewarding when your some of your stock are really well received.
Yeah, that's I think one of the great things about it. The Haras Trotters Classic, as I said, the nom's closed tomorrow. $300. Get in touch with Louise and Georgia, and their phone number will be underneath the bottom, so don't forget that. Just a closing one for you. I could talk to you for a long time. Do you take more pride out of the stallions that you import or have part with, or your mares? When you're looking at results and you see a mare that potentially you may have made, which gives you a bigger kick?
I like to see the breed going forward. I think you've got to look at both.
Yep.
The mares are important, the stallions are very important. So I think, like you look at Menangle last week, and it doesn't even have to be a Haras Trotter stallion or mare, but when you see him going forward and, really doing a great job, that makes me, very happy just to be part of that. As I said, it mightn't even be one of our mares or one of our stallions, but that's what I get a kick out of. So,
I think both the good winners at Menangle were terrific. I think his name was Winborn. I forgot the guy's name who owns Susan. He was over the moon.
Yeah.
And he's a Queenslander.
Yeah.
He's down there. He's won a Group 1 win. I saw Marg and Jason Lee afterwards. They were still happy. They know it was a big ask. Like, she was second up. She'd had a week between runs and had to get to Sydney. I don't think she was far from disgraced in any way. But then you see hunters afterwards with Gates's Gem, bred by Duncan McPherson, another passionate person like yourself, and you see the scenes. This is the greatest part about the Trotters. These people that have tinkered along behind the scenes, if you like, for so long, and they get these great results.
Yeah, and where they're at the moment, the Trotters, you can actually get a very nice horse for not a lot of money because of where they're at the moment, and you only have to look at the locomotive, purchased for 60k, and which is not huge money in relation to horse racing in general. It is up representing Australia in the elite lot in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, which is phenomenal, and one, well done to you for that. Second horse, head back to represent Australia. The last two horses have come from this farm, so that part in and well starts to be a tick. And do you take a lot of pride in that?
Oh, you're with the internationals, because a lot of things have to go right to get a horse to that level. Not just the breeding, but the training and the management and all those logistics as well.
And you see a lot of feedback coming back from the locomotive. Have you had feedback? I know you've got a lot of friends over there. Have you had any feedback so far about him?
No, not yet. No, not in Pacific.
It looks like he's handled the trip well. All the stuff you see on social media.
Yeah, I just saw a little video of him, trotting around Solvala, during the week. So, heading over. Luckily enough, heading over there later next week for the race. So it should be fantastic.
Do you get nervous?
No, not really. I just hope everything goes well for them because it's such a long way, and you're there. They put so much work into them. You want things to go. You want them to have no bad luck, I guess. So and then it's up to the horse.
And then an exciting little byproduct of that is Brad's coming home, but the horse will stay there and campaign on for a little bit longer. So he's going to represent Australia in such a different way for the first time, which is also going to be very exciting. Yeah.
And I actually think he's got if he performs like he did at Melton back in February and he has a good draw, and he gets a good draw, I think a lot of people will be very surprised at how well he goes.
Yeah, he's got a beautiful gait, and I think it's exciting. Pat, thank you. The most important thing is the HDT Trotters Classic. Also 6 horses in the supplementary list for NZB. I'll be doing some more stuff with Cambrai, so that part we'll be getting out there. I'll have the lots up over the top of us a couple of times so people are aware of them, and once their pedigree pages and that are up, we'll make sure that we share that out as well. But thank you very much. Thank you very much for your support of Campbell's comments too. I really do appreciate it, and thanks for giving me 5 minutes, mate.
No, appreciate it, Paul. Thanks for everything. Cheers.